morning. My name is Catherine Crowley, and I am the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and Dean of Students at Catholic University of America, Columbus School of Law. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you on this momentous day and to call to order the 2019 commencement exercises of the Columbus School of Law. We're very fortunate today that we come together with this entire community, students, alumni, faculty, staff, family, and friends in celebration at a magnificent venue, the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. To begin our proceedings, I ask everyone to please remain standing for the invocation to be delivered by Father Raymond O'Brien, a member of the law school faculty. At the conclusion of the invocation, please remain standing for the national anthem. Father O'Brien.
My sisters and brothers, let us pray. Dearest God, we praise you for this day, for through your grace, evidenced through our spouses, our friends, our parents, our grandparents, and our children, you have brought us to this moment. While we are here, we are aware that to whom much is given, much is expected. Fill our hearts then with your Spirit anew, and send us forth to be what we proclaim to be, your missionaries, your disciples, the carers of people. Let that Spirit in our hearts guide us in the years to come. We ask all these things through the God who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. Please remain standing.
You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Dean of the Law School and Professor of Law, Regina Jefferson.
Thank you, Dean Crowley. President Garvey, Provost Abella, Judge Newman, trustees and officers of the university, honored guests, faculty and staff members, family members, friends, and graduates. Welcome to the 2019 Columbus School of Law Commencement Ceremony. Congratulations, class of 2019. It is both an honor and privilege to stand before you today to address you in this beautiful basilica on the occasion of your law school commencement. I am thrilled to have had the opportunity to serve as dean during your last year of law school and to share with you now the joy of this day. The term commencement is defined as a beginning or a start, and indeed today is truly an exciting beginning for each and every one of you as you embark upon your legal careers. Commencement ceremonies, however, also present an opportunity for reflection. More specifically, commencement ceremonies should inspire you as graduates to consider how much you have grown, experienced, and accomplished in getting to where you are today. They also should remind you to appreciate and thank all of the people who have helped you reach this significant milestone in your lives. So I ask everyone to join the members of the class of 2019 in giving their families and friends a rousing round of applause. Graduates, it was only 3 or 4 years ago when you began your legal education. You entered CUA Law School as students aspiring to study the law, and today you will leave with a CUA legal education that equips you to be lawyers who will change the world and make a real difference in society. At CUA Law School, you have learned to be lawyers in a very special and nurturing community, a community distinguished by a mission committed to affirming the dignity of each person, caring for the poor and the neglected, and seeking justice rooted in the common good. These aims and goals are at the core of our identity as an institution and influence both our academic programming and our culture. These same aims and goals, accordingly, are in your core and will help define the types of lawyers that you ultimately become. As members of the legal profession, you will be tasked with the highest of honors and responsibilities, namely to advocate for the rights of others and to serve and protect the legal system and the quality of justice it renders. Your law degree signifies to the world that you are well-prepared thinkers, problem solvers, counselors, advocates, negotiators, defenders, mediators, regulators, legislators, and much more. As such, there is a great deal of work for you to do. Incivility and a lack of respect for others are too prevalent in our world today. Civility and a respect for the dignity of others play critical roles in any well-ordered society. Moreover, the framers of the United States Constitution assumed that their fellow citizens and future generations would be bound by a set of ethical principles that would be self-regulating. Therefore, civility and ethics are inextricably linked, and incivility threatens the very fabric of our society. As new members of the legal profession and as CUA Law School alumni, I challenge you today to share with others the power of your legal education and to use it to create positive change in our boardrooms, courtrooms, and state houses. In particular, I challenge you to work to renew a sense of civility and humanity in the public domain, because no one is better equipped than CUA-trained lawyers to lead this charge. You may ask, how much of a difference can one person actually make? This question reminds me of the story about the man walking on the beach who noticed a child in the distance repeatedly picking up something and then throwing it in the ocean. When he asked the child what she was doing, the child replied that she was throwing the starfish back in the ocean in order to keep them from dying from the heat. The man pointed out that there were tens of thousands of starfish on the beach and that she could not possibly believe that what she was doing would matter to all those starfish. The child bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it in the ocean, saying, "Well, it matters to this one." The moral of the story, of course, is even if you are unable to change the entire world all at once, you can change it bit by bit and person by person. In my toast to your class, when we recognized the 100 days to graduation marker, I stated that I was privileged to have had the opportunity to observe you face challenges head-on and rise to the occasion, growing both personally and professionally from your experiences. And I reiterate that observation today. During your time at the law school, I have watched you help and support one another, and I have watched you come together as a group of strong and bright individuals who have much to offer the legal profession and the world. As you graduate today, please know that as alumni, you will always be an important and integral part of the CUA law community. We look forward to staying in touch with you and hearing about all of the wonderful contributions that you will make in your communities. In closing, I encourage you to be positive, to believe in yourselves, and to work to make our society a better place. I also leave you with the encouraging words of Pope Francis, who recently said, "Although there are many reasons to be discouraged, amid many prophets of destruction and condemnation, and so many negative and despairing voices, may you be a positive force, salt and light for this society. Like the engines of a train, may you be the driving force leading all towards their destinations. May you be sowers of hope, builders of bridges, and agents of dialogue and harmony." Again, congratulations, class of 2019. I know that you can, and I know that you will make a difference.
Thank you, Dean Jefferson. It is now my great privilege to introduce and welcome to the podium the president of the Law School Student Bar Association and member of the graduating class of 2019, Willie Burden.
President Garvey, Dean Jefferson, Judge Newman, faculty, fellow graduates, family, and friends, good afternoon. Before I introduce the student speaker for the graduation class of 2019, I am immensely grateful to have the opportunity to acknowledge the 2019 Faculty Marshal, Professor Mary Leary. The class of 2019 is immensely grateful to Professor Leary for inspiring, guiding, and challenging us. All of us will reminisce the many valuable lessons we gained from you, particularly the time a significant number of the graduates sitting before us today thought it would be a good idea to skip your 1L Crim Law class to complete LSP memos. And in similar fashion to the hit TV series Beyond Scared Straight, over the next few class periods, you certainly scared us straight, to say the least. The class of 2019 chose Professor Leary to lead us today in recognition of her unwavering support. And on behalf of the class of 2019, thank you for everything you have done for us. I ask that you please stand at this time so we may take one more moment to acknowledge you. I would like to also take a moment to personally congratulate our class. It's been such an honor getting to know each and every one of you, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your Student Bar Association president. Over the past 3 years, I have watched us grow from simply classmates and associates into friends and ultimately into family. Your family, you don't choose your family. They are God's gift to you just as you are to them. And our family, like most others, is akin to chocolate fudge. It's mostly sweet, but with just the right amount of nuts added into the mix just to balance things out, of course. Above all, however, our family gives us the roots to stand tall and strong. As we move forward in life after graduation, it is a great privilege to have so many dependable individuals available to call upon in our times of need and support. Class of 2019, congratulations, thank you, and good luck. It is now my pleasure to introduce the student speaker for the graduation class of 2019, a very dedicated and passionate member of our family, Sandra Sawan Lara. Sandra is a graduate of South Florida University and now a graduate of the CUA Law and Public Policy program. Throughout Sandra's 3 years here, her dedication and passion has been exemplified and witnessed in numerous ways. She is one of the outgoing co-presidents of the Law and Public Policy Student Association, was a staffer on the Journal of Law and Technology, and a student officer in the Latin American Students Association. All of this in addition to serving on the Student Bar Association board in each of her 3 years as a student here. Ladies and gentlemen, now I ask that you please join me without further ado in welcoming Sandra, our 2019 student speaker.
President Garvey, Dean Jefferson, Judge Newman, distinguished faculty, alumni, family, and friends, and most importantly, the 2019 Catholic University of America Columbus School of Law graduates. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address you today. Honestly, this whole student speaker thing seemed a little odd to me at first. I'm not quite sure what qualifies any of us to speak in front of, I'm not sure what qualifies any of us to stand up here and give the rest of our class advice. At the end of the day, these last years, it felt like we were simply surviving. But then I realized this speech isn't about imparting some sort of wisdom that you didn't already have. It's not about making our families proud or even about showing our professors how much they taught us. This speech is about all of us. It's about taking 5 minutes in this incredible basilica and remembering. I want all of you to close your eyes. No, seriously, close your eyes. And remember the first day of orientation. We walked up the stairs into the atrium. I don't know about you, but the first thing I remember is Nathan in shorts. We love you, Nathan. But seriously, we all walked into that incredibly open room with 90-something strangers and spent 2 days being a little judgy. We quickly picked our groups. By the second day, we were sitting with specific people in specific tables, and we were willing to fight anyone for our chosen seat in room 213. Now, open your eyes. Just kidding, I know you never close them. But seriously, look around. Truth is, we are more than surviving. These last years, we were thriving. We pushed boundaries, we broke cliques, we picked new seats in classrooms, we spent our spring breaks writing, we traveled the world, some of us had kids, some of us got married, others became parents, some of us got pets, and one of us even fostered and saved countless animals. That's the story we need to remember. Today, we go out into the world with a larger duty. Yes, you now have a duty to render aid. Sorry, Professor Scordato. A duty to render aid to 103 individuals, 103 people who decided they wanted to make a difference, 103 people who spent 3 years, and some 4, creating beauty, being there for complete strangers, making someone else's life a little better. Reality is, the most valuable lesson we all learned is that life is not about being number 1 or how many cases you will win or your next promotion. Life is about the night your computer crashed before an exam and you lost your outline, because I know that night a classmate came to your aid, taking time out of their studying to help you. Life is about the day you weren't able to read and a classmate raised their hand to your rescue. Life is about every Starbucks we bought for our classmates, working late in the library desk so we could study. Life is about the hard rights. What is a hard right? Recently, someone told me being a good lawyer was about making the hard rights instead of the easy wrongs. This stuck with me, and this is what I want to share with all of you today. My grandmother, Irma, taught me the hard rights as one of the only female judges on her bench in Venezuela. She constantly set out to fight corruption in a country riddled with it. After she had to leave her incredible career and immigrate to the United States, I grew up with complete strangers telling me stories of impact she had on their life. Today, her husband, children, and grandchildren live out her legacy, often asking ourselves, what would she do? My parents taught me to make the hard rights when they left Venezuela, sacrificing their great life, careers, and family for my brother and me to have opportunities. A business owner and a corporate executive took their 2 children and packed up their lives in 6 suitcases to become managers at a gas station in Florida. Today, they're once again a businessman and a corporate executive. However, our families are not the only ones that teach us the hard rights. For the last few years, our entire class has shown me what the hard rights are. Caitlin Holbrook showed all of us the hard rights when she chose law school and her future despite constant pain and physical therapy. I know I'm not the only one amazed at her ability to balance a Starbucks and her crutches. Tamara West taught me the hard rights when she decided to balance law school, full-time, an insane commute, and somehow always asking the questions none of us knew we had, and still being an incredible mom to 4 beautiful children. All the night students have also showed me the hard rights, managing full-time jobs and still maintaining higher GPAs than the rest of us. So this speech is about everything you have taught me, because all of you are what make Catholic University special, today and every day moving forward. I have a challenge for you. Continue to live for the hard rights. No, you still don't have a duty to render aid under negligence. Don't forget that for the bar. But as a graduate of the Catholic University of America, you have a duty to do the right thing. A duty I know we have fulfilled these last few years. Now, as we go down a road never traveled, for some of us our first real jobs, for others our second careers, we will face new challenges, new people to be judgy about, new groups of people to cling to, new comfort zones. I challenge you to continue making the hard rights, the hard right of helping someone in need, the hard right of taking the impossible pro bono case, the hard right of working the few extra hours so your coworker can go pick up their kids, the hard right of standing up when you see injustice, just like we have been taught to do, just like we have been doing these past years. In closing, I want to leave you with a quote from the great 80s movie, The Breakfast Club, adopted for the CUA Lawyers Club. When someone asks you who we think we are, you tell them. You remember us as you want to remember us, in the most reasonable terms and the most legal definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a gunner and a quitter, a lawyer, a soldier, and a mother. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, the CUA Lawyers Club.
Thank you very much, Sandra. At this time, I invite President John Garvey, the 15th President of the Catholic University of America, to escort Judge Newman, our commencement speaker, to the center of the stage. I also invite our Hood Marshal, Professor A.G. Harmon, to the podium to read the citation for Judge Newman.
Good judges are good listeners. They need an understanding of human character, the generosity to see the positive in people, and more than a touch of humility. The command of the stage helps too. Judge William T. Newman, Jr. possesses all of these qualities. If you ask Judge Newman for the keys to success on the bench, he might tell you that being a judge is easy, provided you have good lawyers before you and good law clerks. When those conditions are met, he told the Kiwanis Club of Arlington in 2016, you can do your job and get it right, most of the time. William T. Newman Jr. grew up in Arlington, Virginia, and earned his J.D. at the Catholic University of America Columbus School of Law in 1977 after studying theater and political science as an undergraduate at Ohio University. Since 1993, he has been a judge of the Commonwealth of Virginia's 17th Judicial Circuit, covering Arlington County and Falls Church. Judge Newman has been involved in a variety of civic and community activities and has received many honors and awards for his service, including the NAACP Community Service Award and the Urban League Rising Star Award. Prior to his appointment to the bench, he was involved in local politics. In 1987, he became the first African American elected to the Arlington County Board since Reconstruction. In March 1993, he was appointed to the Circuit Court of Arlington County. 10 years later, he was named Chief Judge. The Washingtonian magazine has named him one of the best trial judges in the area. He's also an accomplished actor who has appeared on stage and screen. Judge Newman has been a member of the law school's Board of Visitors since 2016, and in 2003 was awarded an Alumni Award by the Black Law Students Association. In 2017, he was given the Distinguished Alumni Award. From the day you become a judge, Judge Newman has said, the first thing you want to do is make sure that the lawyers do the work and that the lawyers educate you on what the correct law is. His efforts to enable lawyers to do the work, both at the Columbus School of Law and beyond, merit high praise. For his distinguished record of achievement and his demonstrated loyalty to the Columbus School of Law, the Catholic University of America is pleased to bestow upon Judge William T. Newman, Jr. the degree of Doctor of Law honoris causa. President Garvey will now come to the podium for the degree conferral.
In virtue of the authority conferred upon me as President of the Catholic University of America, I am pleased to confer upon you the honorary degree for which you have been recommended to me by the Board of Trustees. Congratulations.
Let me first offer my sincerest thank you. President Garvey, Dean Jefferson University administrators, faculty, graduates, family and friends, good morning to you all. And to my fellow Columbus alums, congratulations. The world out there is yours. Only you can determine what kind of world it will be. Now, to my fellow Columbus alums, now besides the fact that both you and I have now graduated from this very fine institution, we have something else in common. We are both leaving Catholic at a critical juncture in the history of American law. Let me explain. When I first came out of the Columbus School of Law, it was 1977, and our country was still reeling from the carnage of Watergate. We were, in fact, so staggering that our most recent Attorney General was doing time in prison for, ironically, the obstruction of the very law he had taken an oath to protect. As a result, I was among the first students in the United States whose curriculum mandated, for the first time ever, mind you, that professors make teaching legal ethics as vital as teaching the law itself. I know some of you may be surprised to realize that until the mid-1970s, legal ethics in this country was often amounted to little more than this simple and often implied advice to don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't advertise. Which leads me to you and the critical juncture at which our noble profession, if not our country as a whole, now finds itself. Currently, our Constitution's three separate but equal branches of government are at great risk, especially one, the judiciary. Now, such things as social media, internet trolling, and self-selected propaganda-based news sources have blossomed into full-blown phenomena. Something wicked has started to happen in America, something that has since become the primary filter through which millions of us now translate virtually everything we see and hear. Partisan politics, the toxic, hate-filled kind, and the kind that now risks placing a death grip on the future of our democracy. Believe me, my friends, more than self-interest, more than greed and corruption, more indeed than any of the traditional cancers that have long served as the greatest threats to our rule of law, partisan politics have leapfrogged them all. Politics, or should I say partisanship, is killing us. We now can not afford an executive branch that shirks its broader duties of leadership and moral and otherwise, and ask ourselves about a system that would demonize rivals or refuse oversight in upholding the law. What's more, we now even have a legislative branch that fails to assert its independence as a co-equal branch of government than it does in performing its duty to uphold and protect our Constitution. And the question must be asked, why? Politics, or more to the point, blatant self-interest. Truth no longer seems to matter to so many of our legislative and executive branches. Hard truths have been randomly replaced by the manipulation of the language as alternative facts in a way that undermines public confidence in public officials and the judicial system. Life-saving science, long accepted knowledge, and unimpeachable data that may run contrary to one particular ideology have not gone largely ignored, if not openly ridiculed. And in the process, the very soul of this country has been bartered away, like Jack might have brought when he traded his family cow for that sack of beans he once brought home. Yet somehow today it's managing to get even worse. Now, even as I stand before you, partisanship is threatening to destroy the integrity of the purest and arguably most critical of the three branches of government, ours. This one, yours and mine. What had always been the branch that had placed the sanctity of the law above all else, especially self-interest, is now being inflicted with a malaise born of that very same thing, self-interest. A malaise now being used as a blunt weapon by ideological zealots who hope to achieve judicially what they've been unable to do in the voting booth. And that's what we share in common, my friends. As I just said, we will both come out of the Columbus School of Law at a vitally important, if not critical juncture in the history of the American judiciary. I came out in the long shadow of Watergate, and you are graduating during the troubling times for which the U.S. court system. As you well know, or hopefully know, justice in this country is blind. And you know she's blind for a reason. She is blind because she holds her scales for the world to see, because whenever anyone comes before her, whoever that person is, whatever that person looks like, and whatever God he or she prays to is not supposed to matter. Yet more and more our executive and legislative branches are using our courts not for justice, but to advance their political agendas. Oh, I know, given your age and experience, you may think that that's a given, even normal. But I suggest to you it is the polar opposite of what is supposed to be normal. What we are seeing is Lady Justice standing alone and vulnerable before us. Her eyes open, someone's dirty thumb on her scales, and her blindfold at her bare feet. My friends, the judiciary is the one branch of our government established by people far wiser than you and me to be absolutely free of politics. It was set up by some of the most brilliant minds in our country's history as our last line of defense from tyranny and the kind of insidious corruption that money and especially power can instill in a weak man's soul. The judiciary was set up to be our voice of reason and the measured authority, the adult, if you will, in the room we call our federal government. But it is under attack by ideologues who care about nothing other than that which advances their cause or interests. It is placed in jeopardy when the leader rails against unfavorable judicial rulings on grounds such as the color or ethnicity of a judge. It is under attack by the for-profit media outlets who dress up their lies in half-truths and then pass them off as the news, who make millions on unfounded conspiracy theories, and who find it good business to demonize any aspect of the law enforcement that may be inconvenient for them. You know, when you are in positions of public trust, whether as a local prosecutor or as the Attorney General, you must not let personal politics or views interfere with your duty to the Constitution and your oaths as attorneys. You know, I really don't care what your individual personal politics are. But you see, that's exactly my point. I don't care. When it comes to the law, politics should have no place, none whatsoever. And the higher up the legal food chain, the more forged in steel and ironclad that truth should become. There should be only one thing that matters when it comes to the law in this country: a missionary-like commitment by those in power to uphold it. All the other stuff, all of it should not matter. Yet these days, somehow it does. And what's more, it matters more and more with each tweet and with each deeply personal attack on anyone who would deign to defend and seek justice. And just like Watergate, it's up to the one profession, ours, to look in the mirror and to be brutally honest about what those of us who practice law must do to keep democracy safe and our judiciary pure. We have to ask ourselves, both as lawyers and Americans, are we willing to continue to let the process by which we nominate and confirm Supreme Court justices to devolve into a series of political carnivals? Or are we willing to sit by and let hundreds of jurists get placed into key federal judgeships based not on their wisdom or knowledge of the law, but on their activist writings and political beliefs? And above all, are we willing to sit back and let our purest and most noble branch of government be systematically destroyed by the same malaise that now threatens to tear us apart as a country? Or are we willing to do more? Are we willing to rise up and say, enough, it stops now? No more politics when it comes to the judiciary. It is time, my fellow alums, to not just retie justice's blindfold for her, but to do all we can to keep it snug and in place. I know you're probably asking yourselves, why is he bringing up all of this morning to a bunch of recent graduates? Well, I'll tell you why. Why I'm bringing it up specifically to you. I'm bringing it up because your generation can make things happen like few I've ever seen, like few, in fact, we've ever had in this country. Your level of passion, your understanding of social media, your ability to mobilize, and your willingness to stand up and to fight, especially for a noble cause, has been matched by only a handful of generations in America. You know, certainly mine tried, especially during the civil rights era and during Vietnam. But your generation actually does make a difference. And it continues to do things that make me stand in awe of your collective power. I'm bringing it up, too, because when it comes to fertile young minds, I believe there's no such thing as too early for a seed to take root. And I believe, too, that if I plant some seeds today, such as the idea that the future of our judiciary, if not our country, is under attack, that maybe, just maybe, a few of those fertile seeds will take root in a few of these very fertile minds. And one day, a handful of you will rise up and lead us. But yet, most of all, I bring it up because the world you see out there is about to become yours, and only you can determine what kind of world it will be. Do you want it to be one that rewards self-interest and cynical money, and one that kneels and prays at the altar of rage-filled partisanship? A world that tips the scales of justice on a whim and does so out of little more than financial or political self-interest? Or do you want a world in which people of all colors, ages, creeds, genders are equal under the law? Only you can decide, and only you can do something about it. But don't wait too long, my friends, because take it from me, time waits for no one and it moves fast. And because like rust, partisan politics never sleep. The choice is yours, my fellow Catholic alums. Choose wisely, but choose soon. Now, before I finish, let me offer 3 quick bits of professional advice. First, and this is a big one, always remain a lifelong learner. What you've recently learned in law school, that's just merely the beginning. Life moves fast and change moves faster still. Believe me, years from now, the job marketplace will be vastly different. The only constant will be that it will still reward those whose skills and knowledge have adapted each and every step of the way. Now, you may take this for granted at your age, but at some point in life, and I know what I'm talking about here, you will start to meet and move among people who will actually believe they know all they'll ever need to know about life. They'll be drowning, in fact, in a sea of their own uncertainty. But I suggest you should never let yourself become one of them. Continue to work on making intellectual curiosity, a fluid and nimble mind, 2 of the hallmarks of your personality. Secondly, you should define a segment of the market, define yourself, and then make yourself essential to that market. You know, look at LegalZoom. The world is drowning in easy, low-cost information, and it has more web and cloud-based service providers than it knows what to do with. The ABCs of which you've just been taught at Catholic, in other words, can be accessed by anyone with even half a brain and basic computer skills. You should do instead what service providers in other industries are now doing. You need to find your niche and fill it like no one has ever filled it before. Oh, if it's female airline pilots, if it's gay veterinarians, if it's cargo ships or tugboat captains. Learn every last thing you can about the laws as they relate to that niche, and then make yourself the final authority on them, along with those individuals being most impacted by them. Don't just become an expert. In other words, become the expert. And finally, never limit your options. Number 3, Monty Python founder John Cleese, New York Times puzzle master Will Shortz, sportscaster Howard Cosell, Hall of Fame baseball manager Tony La Russa, Mahatma Gandhi, Fidel Castro. You know what they all have in common? They all earned law degrees. My friends, whether you realize it or not, you've just been given a great gift, for you've been not only taught what to think here at the Columbus School of Law, you've been taught how to think. And as such, the world is now your oyster. Don't limit yourself by believing you have to become a practicing lawyer. Oh, you may always be a lawyer, but you don't always have to practice the law. In fact, some of you may never practice it. But if you want to be a general manager of a baseball team or of an NBA team, or do you want to make documentary films? You want to start your own company or become a successful novelist or playwright? You now have the pieces to do just that. For you've been taught how to read. You've been taught to challenge accepted wisdom, to debate, to influence, to communicate, and to change minds. You've been taught, in other words, how to think. The rest is up to you and your imaginations. For you see, the world is out there, and it's yours. Only you can determine what kind of world it will be. Now, all of you, I urge you to go out there and do what God put you on this earth to do. Thank you for your time, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Judge Newman. We very much appreciate your service as our commencement speaker and your thoughtful remarks today. We are especially grateful for the inspiring example that you have set for our graduates as they embark upon their legal careers. Now, the moment has arrived for the conferral of the degrees. It is my honor to invite President John Garvey back to the podium. Will the graduates please rise for the conferral of the degrees earned in course? After President Garvey has conferred your degrees, you will be directed to come up to receive your diplomas. President Garvey, as the Dean of the Columbus School of Law, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degree Juris Doctor, who have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Academic Senate. President Garvey.
In virtue of the authority committed to me as President of the Catholic University of America, I'm pleased to confer upon each of you the Juris Doctor degree for which you've been individually recommended by the law school and by the Academic Senate. I extend my personal congratulations and the university's to each of you.
Graduates, you may now come forward to be hooded and to receive your diplomas. Professor Mary Leary, our faculty marshal, will call the names of the graduates. As your name is called by Professor Leary, please step forward to be hooded by Dean Stuart Shept, be congratulated by President Garvey, and then to Dean Jefferson to receive your diploma and pause for a photograph.
Willie James Burden, Jr. Patrick Arthur Burke. Evan Patrick Berlanti, cum laude. Mackenzie Miller, summa cum laude. Caitlin E. Holbrook. Richard Nicholas Lamura. Onyiechi Onungwa. Brittany Nicole McNerlin. Elizabeth Marie Yulin. Caitlin Marie McClay, cum laude. Sandra Cecilia Sawan Lara. Diana M. Alsabe. Arun Xavier Arakswamy.
That's all right. We'll get it. There you go.
He has a special robe. Aryan Hamid Azimi. Bademba Berry. Kevin Francis Boyle, Jr. Victoria Danielle Boyle.
Congratulations, Tori.
Tony Danielle Kennedy. Elizabeth A. Carney, magna cum laude. Cynthia Chang. Gulshan Afzul Shatta. Molly Elizabeth Chaffee, cum laude. Andrew Jackson Coley. Andres A. Cruz. Catherine Isabel Culora, cum laude. Gina Michelle D'Andrea. Rebecca M. DeVerter. Michael Brendan Dillon. Eliza Shireen Domini, cum laude. Christine Robin Don Francesco. Kate M. Dulles. Patrick George Elwell, summa cum laude. Tiade, Tiave, Tuanlangi, Fatea. Gemma Catherine Forrest, cum laude. Douglas Henry Frost. Gabriella Gina Giannini. Nathaniel Gregory Genevic, cum laude.
All right, Rachel, great idea. I'm starting to get the hang of this stuff.
Rachel Christine Goloff. Sean Anthony Grafton, cum laude. Ashley Danielle Wells Grief. Brett Hayes. Catherine Ignafo Heiss, magna cum laude. Haley Allison Lee Hoff, cum laude. William David Holloway. Anne Marie Hopwood, cum laude. Akshay Jain. Kyle G. Jamelin. Sean Patrick Keenan. Jeremy Reed Kelly. Ahud Ali Kilji. Bart Harris Lambergman. Carolyn Evelyn Lannon. Kenneth John McPhail. Alessandra Marseco, cum laude. Shauna Ray Mason. Nastasia J. Matos. Mary Claire Arden McGinn. James John McNally, magna cum laude. Oscar Medelius. Jordan Michelle Miller, summa cum laude. Christine Rose Milne, cum laude. Kathleen Miskovsky. Kristen Mitchum, cum laude. Jesse Scott Montemuro. Joseph Daniel Morin. Caroline Edwards Morris, cum laude. Yes. Peyton Elizabeth Murphy. Gwendolyn Mary Nail. Maria Fernanda Natera, magna cum laude. Kevin O'Connell. Kimberly Catherine McGrain Odom. David F. Olabe. Emily Taylor Owsley. Denisa Pandrea, cum laude. Lydia Anna Pappas. Saba Khalid Petrov, cum laude. Arthur P. Pickett, summa cum laude.
Good to see you.
Andrew Alexis Polikoff. Adrian Michelle Rapp. Angela Ann Redman. Kieran Lillian Riley. Harrison Edward Richards. Brittany Nicole Shayla. Nina Shalal. Callan James Smith, cum laude. Cloyd Allen Smith Jr. and Liam. Christopher Thomas Snowden. Paul William St. Clair, cum laude. Rachel Sydney Stieber. Shelby Alexandra Begani Tell, cum laude. John J. Terry and Bear. I'm going to give you your moment. Adam Lawrence Turner, cum laude. Daria Deneen Turner and Reagan. Jessica L. Vaughn, cum laude. Benjamin Paul Volpe, cum laude. Robin Barain Warner, magna cum laude. Tamara Sackman West, magna cum laude. We're going to give you your moment. Aaron S. Yee. And that is the class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2019 of the Columbus School of Law at the Catholic University of America. I am now delighted to welcome Associate Dean Marin Scudetto to the podium for the presentation of the John L. Garvey Faculty Awards.
Thank you. The faculty named this award in honor of John L. Garvey, Professor Emeritus, recognizing his 49 years of dedicated service to the law school as dean, teacher, scholar, and colleague. These awards recognize outstanding academic achievement during the law school course of study and are conferred upon one graduate from the part-time and one graduate from the full-time division. The John L. Garvey Faculty Award for the student with the highest academic average in the evening division is presented to Patrick George Elwell. Congratulations, Patrick. Please come to the stage using the front staircase. The John L. Garvey Faculty Award for the highest academic average in the day division is presented to Jordan Michelle Miller.
In 1965, Michael Curtin graduated from the Columbus School of Law with a passion for estate planning and litigation, but also a dedication to the service of others. The range of his pro bono work and the significant time he volunteered in the causes of justice, compassion, and opportunity for all set a new standard for what it means to serve others, particularly to the law school and the legal profession. In 2008, in recognition of his outstanding service, the law school established the Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Awards to recognize a law student from both the day and evening divisions who followed his example and achieved the law school's highest ideals through extraordinary pro bono service to others. We are very fortunate to have Mr. Curtin here today to present the Pro Bono Awards. Mr. Curtin, would you please come to the podium?
I am proud to announce that the 2019 Day Division recipient of the Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award is given to Brittany N. McNerlin. Over the course of Brittany's law school career, she has dedicated an extraordinary amount of time to a diverse range of pro bono projects. She has participated in legal clinics, internships, expungement fairs, outreach to the homeless, and a racial profiling study. She conducted research related to clemency, veterans' benefits, mental health of prisoners, and state public records laws. She helped detained immigrants, returning citizens, homeless D.C. residents, landlords, tenants, veterans, small business owners, survivors of sex trafficking, low-income individuals needing assistance with taxes, and more pro bono work. Brittany was also a leader within the law school, as president of SPIL, and as a member of the Pro Bono Advisory Board. Brittany always encouraged her classmates to give back. In recognition of her efforts, it is my pleasure to present Brittany McMerlin with the 2019 Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award from the Day Division. In recognition of her fervent dedication to pro bono service, it is my pleasure to present to Catherine Ignacio Hayes the 2019 Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award for the Evening Division. Catherine, using the center stairs, please come forward to receive your award. In the midst of a demanding evening student, work, family, and other scheduling difficulties, Catherine made much time for pro bono activities. She conducted legal research projects related to asylum, civil forfeiture, employment discrimination, and veterans benefits. She also volunteered with the Veterans Consortium Pro Bono Program Legal Clinic, where she interviewed veterans and triaged cases for a variety of issues that impacted veterans. As a member of the Pro Bono Advisory Board, Catherine also was an ambassador to the pro bono efforts of her fellow students. She particularly was encouraging fellow Evening Division students to participate in the efforts to become better citizens as well as lawyers. In recognition of her efforts, it is my pleasure to present Catherine Heisey with the 2019 Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award for the Evening Division.
Thank you, Mr. Curtin. Our next presenter embodies alumni commitment and dedication to the Columbus School of Law by serving as the president of our Alumni Council. Stanley Woodward graduated from the law school in 2008 and is counsel with the law firm Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer & He will now present the Alumni Association Awards.
The Law School Alumni Association Award was established in 1978 and recognizes a graduating student from the full-time and part-time divisions. Recipients of this award have not only excelled in academic work, but have actively participated in extracurricular and co-curricular activities and contributed to the law school in many special ways. On behalf of the Law School Alumni Association, we are proud to present the Full-Time Division Award to Gemma Catherine Forrest. As you know, Gemma has been extremely committed to the law school community and has stood out as a student leader since day one. As a second-year student, Gemma served as a law review staff member, representative for the Student Bar Association, Women's Law Caucus Vice President of Public Outreach, and was on the Dean's List. As a third-year student, Gemma committed much of her time to the Catholic University Law Review, serving as an associate editor. She also serves as the Criminal Law Society President, the Vice Chancellor of the Siegenthalter Sutherland, Student Animal Legal Defense Fund Vice President, Student Bar Association 3L Representative, Graduation Committee Co-Chair. There's more, but we don't have time. Gemma's commitment to excellence and to her classmates was further embodied through her service as Dean's Academic Fellow. In this role and in her own personal time, Gemma spent countless hours coaching and supporting fellow students to develop and refine their academic skills and confidence so that they, too, could excel in the classroom. In addition to all these activities, Gemma completed over 150 hours of pro bono service and received the Extra Mile and the Marathon Award. Following graduation, Gemma will be clerking for Judge Salant in the Circuit Court of Montgomery County. It is truly our honor to extend to Gemma, the alumni, on behalf of the Alumni Council, this award today. This year, we are proud to present the Part-Time Division Award to Patrick Arthur Burke. Our evening students often balance law school with significant competing demands on their time. Such obligations have not stopped Patrick from excelling academically, engaging in the law school community as a student leader, and dedicating many hours to pro bono. Patrick committed much of his time to the Evening Law Student Association, serving as the 1L representative. He later served as the Evening Law Students Association treasurer during his 2L and 3L years, and finally as president during his 4L year. Patrick has also been very active in the Columbus Community Legal Services Clinic, providing pro bono services as a student attorney. Patrick received the Extra Mile Award, the Marathon Award, and the Triathlon Award in honor of his outstanding service to the law school community and the student body, despite having other demands on his time. Following graduation, Patrick will be clerking for Judge Hall Johnson of Prince George's County. It is my pleasure to present the Alumni Award to him today. Congratulations, Patrick. A number of our graduates today are following in the footsteps of members of their families who are alumni of the Columbus School of Law and members of the CUA community. It is my pleasure to present our All in the Family list for the graduating class of 2019. I ask our alumni and graduates to stand as your names are called. Kevin Francis Boyle, Jr. Cousin of Tracy Phillips, class of 2012, who is unable to join us today. Shayna R. Mason, sister of Katrina Velasquez, class of 2011. Kristen D. Mitchum, niece of Mary Riley, Mary. Krivda, class of 1987. Maria Fernanda Natera, sister of Raul A. Natera, class of 2018, niece of Francisco Hernandez, class of 1990, and cousin of Estella R. Price, class of 2008, who is unable to join us here today. Cloyd Allen Smith, Jr., husband of Aaron Smith, class of 2011, and father of one of our soon-to-be law students. Congratulations, and thank you, Liam. Elizabeth Marie Ulan, sister of Kimberly Tabakoff, class of 2016, and sister-in-law, perhaps you've not heard of him, Jonathan Tabakoff, class of 2014. Thank you.
As Dean of the Law School, it is my privilege to speak for the entire faculty when I extend congratulations and best wishes to our graduates in the class of 2019 for a future of achievement, service, and fulfillment. At the same time, it is appropriate that the faculty be recognized for their indispensable roles as dedicated teachers and scholars in bringing your class to this day. So I ask that the graduates stand and acknowledge the faculty with a round of applause. I also would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence and continuing support of the members of the university administration and our alumni who are here with us today. Dr. Andrew Abella, Provost and Senior Vice President. Mr. Scott Rumbo, Vice President for Advancement. Mr. Larry Morris, Chief of Staff and Counselor to the President. Sister Ruth Harkins, Associate Campus Minister for Graduate and Professional Studies. Our alumni, Michael Curtin and Stanley Woodward. Also here witnessing your accomplishments today, our Associate Dean Marin Scordato, Assistant Dean Katie Crowley, Assistant Dean Georgia Nedelko, Assistant Dean Shani Butts, Assistant Dean Tanya Gaskins, Assistant Dean and Registrar Stuart Shett, Library Director Beth Ettinger, Executive Director of Development and Alumni Relations Louise Leiden, Director for Academic Affairs Brian McDermott, Director of Financial Aid David Schrock, and Director of Student Life and Special Events, Joan Barassi. It is now my honor and privilege to ask our President, John Garvey, to come to the podium to address the class of 2019.
Judge Newman, Dean Jefferson, honored guests, mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, and graduates of the class of 2019. I want to leave you with two thoughts. They're the two things that make the difference between good and bad lawyers. The first is this: be honest. Last Sunday was the feast of St. Ives, the patron saint of lawyers. He died on May 19th, 1303 in Brittany. Butler's Lives of the Saints records about him the first lawyer's joke, and it goes like this: Sanctus Evo erat Brito, advocatus et non latro res miranda populo. Get it? There's a reason why people make jokes about lawyers' honesty, and it's not because we are less honest than the average guy. Quite the contrary. The point of the joke is that people hire lawyers on account of their honesty, and a breach of that trust is the worst disservice you can do to your client. The dishonest lawyer is like Mottl in Fiddler on the Roof, a tailor who can't see, or like Dr. Kevorkian, the physician who extinguishes life. It's not true that tailors are more myopic than the rest of us, nor that doctors care less about life. Mottl and Kevorkian stand out because they lack the qualities we engage them for. So too with a dishonest lawyer. The thing that people marvel at, res miranda populo, is that she could miss the very point of her calling. And honesty is the point. This is one of those forests so big that we can overlook it in our focus on the trees of lawyering. Trials are a search for truth. Did D kill V? Did M conspire in restraint of trade? Deals are promises. I'll do this for you if you do that for me. Prospectuses are representations. Company C shipped 1,000 containers last year. Trusts are aptly named. In each of these activities, the lawyer speaks and writes for her client. Her business is all words. We're good at that. We're not always smarter than our clients, but what we have to offer them is this. We know what the rules are about taxes, the environment, payment systems, stock fraud, and we know how to steer people through them in their filings, oaths, promises, representations, trusts. All words. Our job is to speak them truly to and for our clients. Don't make the mistake of thinking that it's just lawyers for big companies who are tempted to shade the truth. Extremism in defense of any cause can be a vice. We all condemn tax fraud, but it's also wrong to lie in order to save wetlands or spotted owls, or to stave off deportation. Indeed, I think the temptation is greater when the justice of our cause lets us make peace with our consciences for ignoring little things, a misleading word here or there, an omission, a failure to correct. Why should I be punctilious, we tell ourselves, when my zealous honesty just improves the odds that the spider will once again triumph over Miss Muffet? This is the pride of the righteous, the belief that we're excused from the ordinary rules when our cause is just. Don't fall for it. The second secret is this: work hard. I've seen a lot of lawyers in my time, and apart from their honesty, what separates the good ones from the bad ones is just this: hard work. Success does not track class rank. This is no slap at our grading system. It's a good measure of intelligence, analytic power, memory, and a certain degree of invention. But you all have enough of those to succeed, and your career will last many years. In 3 years, you've learned enough to begin the practice of law. It's only a beginning, though. 10 years hence, you'll be much better, and you won't be in the same rank order. Some of you have gotten out of the gate faster than others, but it's a long race. Keep at it. I've been using a racing metaphor to make a point that you must work hard to be a good lawyer, but it's misleading in this respect. The measure of a good lawyer is not that she finishes ahead of her classmates, but that she serves her clients best. And the way to do that is to work hard for them. Return phone calls. Turn over every stone. Tie up loose ends. And never let yourself believe that you've mastered the law. This bit of advice, like my first one, is so plain that you might mistake it for a commencement day bromide. It's not. The besetting temptation of this generation is the desire to get rich quick. Lawyers never starve, but they seldom get filthy rich either. And the reason for this is the kind of work they do. They're paid to think about what can go wrong, how to stay inside the lines, and how to clean up affairs that go awry. Very useful stuff. Essential, in fact. But it's not a service you can deliver way more efficiently than people who have done for a long time. Doing someone's legal work takes time and effort. That's why good lawyers work hard and bad ones don't. Keep those two things in mind, and God bless you all.
Thank you, President Garvey. We are grateful for your presence today and the sound advice that you have offered our graduates. We very much appreciate your strong support of the law school. I now ask everyone to rise for the benediction, which will be delivered by our chaplain, Sister Ruth Harkins. Sister Ruth, would you please come to the podium?
In the words of Mother Teresa, I pray that all those people who have graduated do not just carry a piece of paper with them, but they carry love, peace, and joy. That they become the sunshine of God's love to all people, the hope of eternal happiness, and the burning flame of love wherever you go. May they become carriers of God's love, and they are able to give what you have received. For they have received not to keep for yourselves, but to share and to serve. With St. Thomas More as your model, may your lives bring glory to God through your pursuit of justice. May you be trustworthy in your confidences, skillful in study, accurate in your analysis, just and merciful in your conclusions, passionate in your argument, loyal to your clients, honest with all, courteous to adversaries, and faithful to your own integrity. Know that God sits beside you as you listen to the sacred story of each person. And in your library, God stands beside you, guiding your mind and heart so that you may not lose the soul on the journey. May your family find in you friendship and courage, cheerfulness and charity, diligence in your duties, counsel in adversity, patience in pain, and their good servant who always seeks God's will. And as you go forth this day from the Columbus School of Law, may God's blessing follow you as you find new journeys to travel, May you walk safely along the pathways of the dreams planted in your hearts. May the gentle hand of our God guide the decisions you will make and the passions that you will follow. May your hearts and lives always reflect the justice, the love, and truth of God. And may hope be a light within you to carry you into each new day. Amen.
Thank you, Sister Ruth. Once again, congratulations to our graduates, to your families and friends. I ask the audience to remain in place until the faculty and graduates have recessed out of the shrine, and I invite you all to join us for a reception in honor of our graduates on the law school lawn. It is my pleasure and honor to now officially declare this academic convocation for the 2019 Columbus School of Law concluded. Congratulations.